Hey everybody, it's Tracy Hamlin inviting you to join us this Monday, February 28th. We'll be joined by amazing children's music recording artist Uno Dos Tres Andres, the husband and wife team celebrating their very first Grammy nomination. We'll also be joined by an amazing small business owner who partnered with Whole Foods just 1 year after launching her business. Radhika Marathi will be here with us this Monday. Don't miss it. The Tracy Hamlin Show, presented by Our Music Channel on our TV network. Hey everybody, I'm Tracy Hamlin, and I'm so excited to share that I'm going to be coming your way every Monday night for an entire hour to spotlight some phenomenal unsigned artists from around the globe, as well as some amazing small businesses from my area that you need to know about. I'm also going to throw in a song or two. Yay! Something like that, a little something like that. Now, I'm going to need you guys to tell all your friends, your cousins, your aunties, your bosses, come on in here and join us. We're going to have so much fun. You don't want to miss this. I'll see you soon. Ooches of smooches. Are you ready? The Tracy Hamlin Show. Tracy Hamlin Show. The Tracy Hamlin Show. Are you ready for the Tracy Hamlin Show? Are you ready for the Tracy Hamlin Show? Drum roll, please. Hey, you better watch your back or watch your enemies. Can't rely on everyone. No. I trusted you because you were so kind. Half your truths, they tell a lie. Oh, all I want is peace. I can't get no relief, no, from you. Oh, sorry, it's not enough. The damage has been done. I'm bruised, but not broken. Tears of joy. At the end of the day, we're all singing the same song. Yeah. Oh, we're all singing the same song. Yeah. Yeah. Call me what you want. That can't change your stripes. How do you stand up without a spine? No, gotta rise above it all. It's not the last time I will fall. Make your mess your message, yeah. Gotta keep moving on. Keep your head up high. We're bruised, but not broken. Woo! Yeah, yeah. Oh, we're all singing the same song. We're all singing the same song. Yeah. Oh. Good evening and welcome to the Tracy Hamlin Show. I am international recording artist and jazz concert series owner, and I use music as a catalyst to give back to my community. And I'm so excited about my upcoming Sweet Jazz concert series. Can't wait to share more details next week. I'll be sure to let you know the lineup and all of the fun things that are happening. My short song today is from my fifth album, and it's a song that I co-wrote with Italy's Michela Schiavarini. It's called Same Song, and it's one of my favorite songs from my last album. We have a great show in store for you today, and I'm so excited to have the Tracy Hamlin Show be a platform for quality artists and small businesses that you need to know about. So I'm delighted to share these guests with you today. Today on the show, we have husband and wife team Uno, Dos, Tres, Andres celebrating their very first Grammy nomination. But first, we're going to kick things off with an amazing small business owner from Reston, Virginia, and she makes flavored peanut butter that is absolutely delicious. Radhika Marathi, welcome to the show. How are you today?
I'm doing well, Tracy. That
Oh,
song was phenomenal.
oh, thank you so much. So excited to have you here today. So, my first question for you today is what was the inspiration behind homemade peanut butter?
It was my son. He is a competitive swimmer, and when he was young, he would eat Nutella, oh,
Mm,
a chocolate hazelnut spread that is very well known.
so we've known
And
Nutella.
yeah, and I looked at the ingredients, and two of the main ingredients were not things that I support. One
Mhm,
of which is a very controversial oil that has led to the devastation of orangutan habitats in the rainforest.
mhm.
And so I started making hazelnut butter for him. And then I started looking into natural peanut butters, and either they also contained palm oil or they didn't taste very good. So I started making my own.
Oh, that is a wonderful story. Well, what's the inspiration behind the name Omade?
So my mom actually named the company for me. It wasn't me at all. But everything I do is homemade, everything I
Mhm,
make, all the food in our house.
mhm.
And my mom had a play on words because I'm Indian and Om is the sound of creation. So Omade is like homemade.
Oh, I love that. I love that. And I love your peanut butter, but we're going to come back to my favorite one in a minute. So, how did you go from making the product in your kitchen to mass production and partnering with Whole Foods?
Um, I just kept making peanut butter for my son and his friends for years and years. I just make a giant jar every couple weeks, put it in the snack drawer. The boys would eat it. I didn't think much of it. And
Mhm,
then we had an election in November 2016.
mhm.
And the day after, a bunch of us were thinking about what our next step should be. And I always say, don't anger middle-aged women because we stand up and fight back.
Right. Absolutely.
So I had had the privilege of going to President Obama's inaugural ball, the civilian one. I
Mhm,
had the privilege of seeing him and Michelle Obama and just getting all that beautiful inspiration from that event and just knowing that no matter what some people may throw at us, we had these two and we had the Bidens and this
mhm.
beautiful evening of just hope and forward looking thinking. And I really thought that I would go to Hillary Clinton's inaugural ball because, like many women in my generation, she was charting a path that we were to
Mhm.
follow in her footsteps.
Very
And
interesting.
then we had the election,
Mhm,
and we were quite disappointed. And so we decided, starting on inaugural day, we
mhm,
were going to do a 3-day weekend of action. So on
mhm,
inauguration night, we held a fundraiser for the ACLU,
mhm.
and a volunteer who was helping me set up in my house said she was hungry. And I said, normally I have a fridge full of food because I'm Indian and that's what we do. We cook and feed people
Right.
like many, many good women. But I had been quite depressed, so I hadn't been cooking at all. And I told her all I have is this homemade peanut butter and apple slices. And she told me later when I said homemade peanut butter, she cringed and thought, "Ooh, I don't want that." But she put a bite of apple with this peanut butter in her mouth, and
Uh-huh.
her face lit up, and she said, "You have to start selling this. You're sitting on a gold mine."
Oh, so that's where it all started.
Yeah.
So hold that thought. We're going to go to a commercial break, and I can't wait to hear more about this story. And I can't wait to share with you all what my favorite flavor is. So we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back with Radhika Marathi and homemade peanut butter.
So nice, so nice. So nice, so nice. Virgin Islands nice. So nice.
I'm Charles Meriday, and I'm in the restaurant business. In my 20 years as a chef and restaurant owner, I've been able to work and eat in some of the great kitchens around the globe. There's a whole side of the restaurant that most people will never get to see. So now, I want to take you to the back of the house, into kitchens of some of the best chefs in the world. Along the way, I'll share some of my own tips and recipes so you can cook like a pro too. So join me in the back of the house for a whole new perspective on cooking and food. Order in. Roger. Serve it, please.
Buona Pasqua.
I'm glad that you came. Please.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the launch of the new MTV Caribbean channel. What's the name? What's the name?
Let's go.
And that's why tempo is so so important and sort of on point, because there's a tempo to everything that we do in the Caribbean. You know what I'm saying? It's a heartbeat.
We have our whole channel, man. The Caribbean is so diverse.
And for them to recognize that and to launch a channel for that, that is totally amazing.
I started to think about all of that, and I was like, wow. I said, well, wait a minute. These are all the things that make great television.
Watch on 10.
Are you ready for the Tracy Hamlin Show? Are you ready for the Tracy Hamlin Show?
Hello, we are back with Radhika Marathi and homemade peanut butter. So before the break, you were telling us basically that this idea was birthed at your home once your girlfriend tasted your amazing peanut butter. So can you elaborate on that a little bit more? So let me ask you, let me switch the question up a little bit. How long did it take from you deciding to start your business to seeing your product on the shelf?
Well, I actually started in farmers markets and I sold my first jar of peanut butter on May 5th of 2017. So the idea was given to me on January 17th of that year. January 20th of 2017.
2017.
And so I was scheduled to go to my first farmers market because I use local Virginia peanuts. The Fairfax County Farmers Market had accepted me as a vendor, which was huge. And but of course, on May 5th, there was huge thunderstorms in the area. So I put on Facebook that I'm starting this new business. Does anyone want to come buy peanut butter? So everyone came to my house. Yeah.
The power and beauty of social media.
Yeah. And so I sold hundreds of dollars of peanut butter in maybe an hour or so. And even people I didn't know.
Really? So
Yeah.
maybe I need to start doing that with my music. Hey, I'm at the farmers market, come buy my song. I love that. So when did your peanut butter get to Whole Foods?
So Whole Foods, it turns out, has a schedule where they don't accept new products for X number of years. And they weren't accepting new nut butters until about 2021 or 22 or something. But I walked into the Fair Lakes Whole Foods and I said, you know, I have this peanut butter company. And they said, oh my God, are you Homemade? And I said, yeah. What have I done?
They already knew about you when you walked in. Okay, that's
because my customers went in and they said, you know, the markets are closed. We love this peanut butter. Put it on your shelves. And so it was almost a relief to them when I walked in and identified myself as Homemade peanut butter.
Oh, I mean, what a story. When does that ever happen? That is an incredible story. Well, I have to show you guys. I'm a fan. I love Homemade peanut butter. Coconut Bliss is one of my favorites. So I know that you have turmeric. Can you tell us some of the other flavors?
Well, I have 12. The bestseller is Coconut Bliss, and it's amazingly good because everything is made with Virginia peanuts and really simple ingredients. But the one we just released is called Hella Hot, and that's actually
that one.
It is very good. It's not just spicy. Oh yeah.
Okay, wait a minute, everybody. You need to go stop what you're doing. You need to get some of this peanut butter. This one is Coconut Bliss, and let me tell you, I put it on apple slices, Ritz crackers, or just straight off the spoon. It is that delicious. So
I like the spoon.
Well, I had to. I couldn't help myself. Now, I have a very important question, though. This is very important. So once your peanut butter was on the shelf at Whole Foods, did you go and take a selfie next to the product? Because that's what I would have done.
Yeah, because you're gorgeous. That's why you would have done it.
I mean, but that's a really big deal. Everybody doesn't walk into Whole Foods. They already know about their product. And then they put it on the shelf. I mean, that's pretty amazing.
It was really fun. I did have these tags that Whole Foods put up near my product saying local with my picture on it. And I became really good friends with all the delivery guys. And once one of them came to the back to receive my peanut butter, and he said, wait, I just bumped into you in the front. And I said, do all Indian women look the same to you? What do you mean you bumped into me?
Oh my goodness.
And so he took me out and he's like, look, your picture's near the shelf.
That is pretty incredible. So do people ask for your autograph? They know you as the peanut butter lady?
I can't be naughty in public anymore because everyone's like, oh, you're Homemade, aren't you? And I'm like, no.
I know, right?
That's another Indian lady.
So what advice would you give to someone that may have a unique recipe for a product and they really want to get out there? What would your advice be to them?
My advice would be that you have to absolutely love your product. You have to be the number one consumer of it. Right. I have to admit, I have some customers who eat way more peanut butter than I do. But until then, I loved it. My friends, my kid and his friends loved it. You have to be passionate because people only see the lovely fireworks of getting something on the shelves of Whole Foods or being on the Today Show or Food and Wine or the public accolades. But as you know, Tracy, doing anything successfully is 99.995% grunt work behind the scenes that nobody is willing to do except you because you love what you do.
You know, it's so true. And I mean, there are often times that people have felt that, oh, she, you know, things have been handed to Tracy on a silver platter, and folks have no idea how hard I hustle. You know, I'm the record label, I'm the tour manager, I'm the promoter, and they don't see me doing all the driving back and forth to the studio pre-pandemic. And they don't see the hustle. They just think that, oh, this was probably easy, and it's not. But I still want to, you know, it's not easy at all. But I think it's so important to continue to encourage people to step out on faith, you know, and
if you love what you do, it'll carry you through. It's like, you know, they say about a swan, it looks so graceful floating on the surface of the water, but underneath it's paddling furiously. And I think that's what an entrepreneur does. They don't tell people how hard it is because they believe in what they're doing and they just do it.
That's a great analogy. So during the pandemic, when we were in the midst of it, I mean, you constantly heard people talk about pivoting. What kind of adjustments did you have to make?
Well, I used to say that my sales went down, but now I will freely admit they cratered. It was like the meteor that got took the dinosaurs out. That's what COVID did to my business, because I was, I mean, I can joke about it now, but I'm telling you, some days I was like, well, that was fun, and it's over now.
Well, let me tell you, I can relate because all of my gigs just went out of the window. So I totally relate. And it was so interesting. You heard everybody talking about we have to pivot and be flexible. And I just think so many of us rose to the occasion, and it really just showed, you know, how resilient we are. So great to hear that you are continuing to move forward because it's so necessary. What kind of challenges have you faced being a female business owner in your field?
I have to say that I'm not as swift as many people, so I don't really see challenges because I'm not smart enough to see them. And also, you know, I'm not smart enough and I'm not smart enough to hear the word no and understand it. So if someone says, I don't want to help you, I don't want to do this or that, I just ask them again and again and again. And at some point they do it just to get me off their back.
Perseverance, resilience. That's you. I love it. And that is what was so impressive when I met you at the conference that we attended. And it was so great to sit down and hear your story because it's so inspirational. So where can, if somebody can't get to a Whole Foods, where else can Homemade Peanut Butter be purchased?
Online. Homemade PB.
Homemade PB. I love it. So what's next for you? Do you have new flavors?
Well, I just released Hella Hot. It's doing really well. It's based on Indian street food, so it's not just spicy. It's got layers of flavor that just keep, you know, hitting you wave after wave, which I love. And I'm looking for a bigger commercial space so I can diversify.
I love that. And when did you said it's called Hella Hot. When did that one, when did it come out? You said it was recent?
Yeah, National Peanut Butter Day, January 24th.
There's a National Peanut Butter Day. So next year, I'll have to be ready with my peanut butter and whatever else we're going to have. To join us, because with peanut butter, we're going to need, you know, probably some of Kendra Dion's 5011 wine afterwards. So that's
very nice.
Amazing as well. So can you also share your social so that folks know where to find you? Because this peanut butter is amazing. And again, I eat mine with apple slices and Ritz crackers, and it's quite amazing. Where else can folks, what are your socials? Please share.
It's the same thing, Homemade PB. OMMADE PB.
Okay.
Everything.
And Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. everywhere. Well, I tell you, I always say every week, time flies when you're having fun. I am so excited that you were able to join us today, and I wish you much success. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be right back with Uno, Dos, Tres, Andres, and we'll see you when you get back.
I used to watch BET, MTV, VH1, now I watch Tempo. Soca, Calypso, Reggae Dancehall. Don't stall, better get tuned in to the Tempo. Don't have cable, they got an app. Go to your app store, download that. Whether it's tourism, cuisine, or the social scenes, if it ain't Tempo, it's a rap. Who got the Caribbean views? Tempo. It's the latest in Caribbean news. Tempo. You tryna cook Caribbean food? Tempo. You know they got the music videos too. Tempo. Who got the Caribbean views? Tempo. It's the latest in Caribbean news. Tempo. You tryna cook Caribbean food? Tempo. You know they got the music videos too. Tempo.
The sand is way too hot. It's gonna burn my feet. So I put on my sandals. Got those on now, but wait a minute. Now I feel the wind picking up. Whoa.
The wind is way too strong. It's blowing everywhere. Whoa. The wind is way too strong. It's blowing everywhere. Hey friends, let's get into water.
The water's so cold. The wind is so strong. The water's so cold. But the sun shines on. The sun is so hot. The wind is so strong. The water is so cold. But the sun shines on. Yeah, we're gonna play today. In the sun in a special way. La playa every day. Come on, this is the beach show. The sun is so hot. The wind is so strong. The water is so cold. But the sun shines on. Apaga la pantalla y vamos pa' la playa. Voy con mis amigos que ellos nunca me fallan. Si te da calor, juguito de papaya. La cosa se activó, esto está que estalla. La playa.
Are you ready for the Tracy Hamlin Show? Are you ready for the Tracy Hamlin Show?
Welcome back to the Tracy Hamlin Show. Our next guest is children's music recording artist Uno, Dos, Tres, Andres. Please welcome Christina and Andres to the show. Hey guys, how are you?
We are great. We're so happy to be here.
Hey, Tracy, so good to see you. Thank you for the invitation.
Yes, it's been a minute since we've seen each other. So we're going to just dig right in because I am just so excited about the music that you all do and the journey that you have, the journey that you all have been on. Tell us about how you guys started in children's music.
That's a great question because there's magic involved. Do you believe in magic, Tracy?
I do. I do believe in magic.
Awesome, because it's magic. The fact that, I was writing songs for years, and it was about 12 years ago, on a magical night of December, I met Christina at a party, and, and it was love. And then it was the beginning of this amazing project, Uno, Dos, Tres, Andres. I was finishing my doctorate in music. I thought I was going to be a college professor of clarinet. And then at that same time, I met Christina, who had like different interests that complemented what I did.
I was a public school teacher. I was working in the classroom, working with elementary students in Philadelphia. And I never thought that I would be a musician, but I could see, especially for my students who maybe spoke Spanish at home and were learning English at school, which was my story. My parents emigrated from Colombia. I grew up in the US. I was born in the US. I always was speaking Spanish at home and learning at school. And that really resonated with what I was seeing in my students' families. And then I was seeing how music and chant and movement and fun and moving around was helping keeping the classroom fun and joyful. And so then I met Andres, and we had this idea of music in Spanish and English for kids of all kinds and families of all kinds, to help learn, to just have fun, and to support educators as well in the classroom.
Right. I just love that. I love all that you guys do under the umbrella of music, and your energy just resonates through the screen. So I just love it. And I know that the kids absolutely love it. For Andres, I know that you play a lot of instruments. How many different instruments do you play?
I play it gets expensive, because then when you have to buy like saxophone, flute, clarinet, I also play some traditional flutes, and then I play guitar, ukulele. Then it gets expensive. But it's really a joy to be able to show so many instruments for children, because they are like, oh, I've never seen that instrument. It really opens their horizon.
Wow. Well, I know that you guys won a Latin Grammy back in 2016. What was that experience like?
Wow, it was so incredibly special, and thank you for asking. And it's beautiful because that album started in the classroom. We were doing a residency with kindergartners, and we really crafted all of those songs, side by side with the educators, being responsive to what they needed and what they were trying to teach. And then to get amazing feedback from parents, from other educators. That album also won the American Library Association. It was designated or a recording of the year, and from parent groups. And then to get this recognition from the Recording Academy. So, the idea that not only was it educationally valuable, but the music and the production that we worked so hard on, the vocals, the instruments, the arrangements were also being recognized is just incredibly special. And we felt very fortunate and energized to keep making more music.
Well, when I tell you I love that album, and I've been consistently impressed with the production of your work. You talked about working with 5-year-olds. I am a former music teacher of kids with dyslexia. I taught music appreciation, and it was one of the most rewarding things I've ever done in my entire life. So kudos to all the teachers in the world, because it can be a thankless job, but it's very, very rewarding. So thank you both for what you're doing with these wonderful kids out here today. So I know that you guys are nominated for the very first time for a Grammy.
Wow, yeah, and
Category.
that's
So
a different league, and we're super excited that
yes.
this is our first one. We couldn't believe it. I was jumping around the house saying, "Oh my god! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Oh my god!" Like I just couldn't believe it, and we're just extremely humble and grateful. And again, there's a huge team of amazing people who made this album possible, who
Yes.
believed in this project. The project is called Activate.
Activate, which means activate in Spanish.
Activate.
So it's the theme is around physical exercise and flying a kite, riding your bike, playing soccer, playing baseball, but also activating as part of our community and being good neighbors and working together as a team. So all of those themes come together with songs in Spanish and English, and it's got some really, really special guests on it.
That's right.
Well, you just mentioned working together as a team. What is it for you working with? What is it like for you working with your spouse?
With your spouse?
Yeah, I know. Well, it has been a process, and we have to learn a lot about ourselves. Because you learn about the other person, yes, but eventually you have to. The learning is an inner process,
right?
And we need to put our ego, tone it down a little bit, become better listeners. And what I'm working on this right now, Tracy. Being better at asking questions. Asking questions is very important.
I'm so proud of you, Andres. I'm so proud of you.
How is it for you, Christina?
Yeah, no, it's been a process, and I think another thing that I would say is to be attuned to your cycles. Sometimes you're in a very creative cycle and you want to dream and brainstorm, and sometimes you're in a very focused cycle where you're crossing things off your list and you're checking it off, and maybe the other person isn't at the same place that you are mentally, and sometimes you're high energy, sometimes you want to relax a little bit. So just being aware of where you are, and that the other person on your team may not be quite there wherever you are, and just being open to that.
Totally get that. So do you two produce your own music?
We are very involved in the production, but we work with producers that really enhance and bring other flavors into the kitchen, into this beautiful pot of Caribbean, Afro-Latino rhythms, Indian rhythms, because you get tired of eating the same thing all the time. You get tired of your own cooking. Then when we bring these amazing producers who also have connections with other artists, and this is the magic of this album, the fact that we were able to include a Hollywood star on this album, Ruben Blades, who is not only is a Hollywood star, but he's like a living legend of salsa. He was the Person of the Year at the Latin Grammys last year. He's like an idol that I've admired my whole life.
Wow. Well, listen, I want to hear more about him. We're going to take a short break, and I definitely want to hear more about your producer. So we're going to take a short break. We will be right back with Uno, Dos, Tres, Andres, and Miss Christina.
So nice, so nice. So nice, so nice. Virgin Islands nice. So nice.
Style takes too long. I can't fit anything. I have nothing in this closet. Oh, I'll just stay home. I need to purge my closet. Oh, but not that dress. Yo, Taylor here. If you ever thought to say one of these phrases, then this show is for you. Join me at the Style Table, where we'll have candid and fun conversations about real women's style issues and wardrobe dilemmas. We will discuss solutions and ideas that will give you a big sigh of relief. You'll learn ways to save money, make money, and enrich the lives of others with the clothes in your closet. We're going to take the stress out of your style.
You know you are a hot one. We are lime, we are laugh, we are chat, we no chill, we are hot one. Temperature rise, beer vibes in ya, this a hot one. Link up, connect, bust a sweat when you're dead from the hot one. We gonna spice it up like fire.
motor. Vamos a prender el motor. Vamos a prender el motor. Vamos a prender el motor.
Are you ready for the Tracy Hamlin Show? Are you ready for the Tracy Hamlin Show?
So I'm still jamming from your song.
I'm still jamming with your curtain. Are you ready? I love it.
Yes. I mean, your music truly is universal. I mean, when I hear your music, I just bounce around. It makes me feel so good. So thank you guys for that. So we left off, you were talking about your producer. And I think it's so great when you write a song and you put it in the hand, you trust it with a producer to interpret it and add their magic. So I think that is absolutely wonderful that you guys do that. So, and you said your producer was last year's Latin Grammy Person of the Year?
No, so our producer was able to connect it with so many of the guests that we had on this album.
Mm-hmm. Including Ruben Blades, who is an actor and also a musician, and he was last year's Person of the Year at the Latin Grammy.
Uh-huh.
I remember that. So when you guys heard that you got where were you when you heard about your nomination this year?
Well, it's a good story.
How did you find out about it?
It's a good story. Well, I was very stressed out. I didn't want to watch it. I was nervous. I didn't want to jinx it. So I went and got in the tub with just water and relaxing. I was on a phone call. I was talking to somebody, and Christina.
Well, I was watching the live stream, and I, my jaw just dropped, and I was like, Andres is over there with his salt and his bubble bath. I don't want to interrupt, so I'm just gonna let him. But then his phone started vibrating and interrupting his call,
and I just went out just like that from the top, just running around the house. Luckily, it was only the two of us, and there were no videos and anything. So then we, like you see all the artists, they record the moment where they hear it. I couldn't do it because I was naked. So luckily, then I put some clothes on, and then I composed myself, and then we recorded on social media, and it was pretty intense.
Oh my goodness! So Christina, what are you wearing? I mean, we're going to ask you, but Christina, what are you wearing to the Grammys?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited because we were approached by a designer named Mayerly Rodriguez here in the Washington, D.C. area. And so we worked together to create a completely custom dress that you won't see anywhere else. And it suits not only our personality, but also the theme of the album. So it's, I'm not like a fluffy, ribbony kind of person, but I like a dress that I feel like I could run in, I can move around in. So
it's a very long day. Grammy Day is a very long day. So
it is.
You know what? And Mayerly, she's an amazing designer. She also has roots in the Caribbean because she has done thousands, probably. She and her family, even though they're from Colombia, they have worked in the island of just north of Venezuela, from Holland. That is like part of Holland.
Okay.
Curacao. She has worked in Curacao at the carnival, and they have done dresses and costumes and whatnot. So it's also a very interesting connection that she knows about color and about vibrancy and happiness.
Well, I'm excited. I'll be looking. I won't be attending the Grammys this year, but I can't. I'll be checking your pages to see what you guys are wearing and to peeking on all the fun that you all will be having. So, have you guys thought about dibbling or dabbling in any other genre besides children's music, or this is your fave and this is where you're staying?
You know, this is our thing. We have so much fun because, you know, kids' music, you know, speaking of genres, it's not so much a genre as an audience. And within our music, we've made, even within this album, Actívate, there are so many genres. So there's a song that is in the genre of banda, which is Mexico. So you'll see us in the music video, you know, wearing our hats and our pointy boots, and there's a tuba and there's horses. Right. Then there's the songs that we watched earlier, the beach, that's kind of more of a tropical sound, and El Motor. There's lots of different genres within children's music. So we feel like there's so much more to explore, and we love performing for kids and families.
Oh, and I can tell. I mean, I feel it. I know it. I just absolutely love it. Is there anybody that you guys would like to collaborate with?
Well, have you heard of that singer, Tracy Hamlin, to do like a dance beat? No, you know what?
I'm here for it. So let me.
Awesome. You know what? Encanto, the song Encanto. There was an artist who sang the main theme. The main thing is, his name is Carlos Vives, and it would be great to collaborate with him one time. And then also we reach out to somebody in Spain, you know, an amazing singer. So, you know, we now, after this Grammy nomination with this artist, you know, our eyes are, you know, the sky is the limit. So we wanna reach to some other artists and really do more collaborations.
Well, folks are going to be knocking your doors down. So where can folks find you, stay in touch with you, see your pictures, and take the Grammy journey with you? Tell us where people can find you, your website, your social media links. Where can people find you?
Thank you so much for asking. Well, our band name is 123 Andres. So like 123 Andres. So you can find us on social media, our website, 123andres.com, using numbers, and you can speak to your smart speakers. Hey, Alexa, play 123 Andres or 123 Andres.
Now, on social media, you can find it like that, but also with our handle. At 123 con C-O-N Andres. 123 con Andres. 123 C-O-N Andres. That means 123. Let's play 123 with us. And we're super excited to reach out all of your viewers and stay connected and continue the conversation.
Absolutely. So after the Grammys, is there new music coming? Are you going to take a break?
We are so excited. This year, we're going to be releasing a collection of songs that are perfect for those young learners, little preschoolers, and all of those social emotional themes that you're thinking about when you're a little preschooler. Trying new things, how to ask for help, how to get along with your new friends at school. So it'll be a collection of 30 songs, 15 in Spanish and 15 in English. So you can listen to them in either language, and each song will have a video. So make sure you find us on our YouTube channel.
That was a perfect commercial. I love it. Well, I just want to thank you two so much for taking time out of your busy schedules to stop by the Tracy Hamlin Show. I'm honored to know you guys. I still go to the Greek restaurant that you guys took me to. I spent 2 of my birthdays there. So thanks so much for turning my hubby and I for taking us to that restaurant. We had a great time. Fingers crossed for you guys. You know, you've won. To me, you're winners, period. And I know it's truly an honor to be nominated. I think you guys got this. Thank you so much. I love both of you guys. Wishing you much success, and I'll be definitely keeping in touch. Everybody, thank you so much for joining us today. This is Dorothy Marie Hamlin's baby girl, Tracy Hamlin, signing off. Thank you all so much for joining us. We'll see you next week, and ooches of smooches. Thank you, Andres and Christina. See you next week.
Gracias, Tracy. Nos vemos.
Yes. Hey everybody, I'm Tracy Hamlin, and I'm so excited to share that I'm going to be coming your way every Monday night for an entire hour to spotlight some phenomenal unsigned artists from around the globe, as well as some amazing small businesses from my area that you need to know about. I'm also going to throw in a song or two. Yeah, something like that, a little something like that. Now, I'm going to need you guys to tell all your friends, your cousins, your aunties, your bosses, come on in here and join us. We're going to have so much fun. You don't want to miss this. I'll see you soon. Ooches of smooching. Are you ready? Tracy Hamlin Show.